Top five.
Yeah, girl. You ready to do this? You ready to count this thing down? We're doing the top 5, her. Yeah, let's set it off with 1, 2, 3, 4.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Ranked, the podcast. Top 5 lists of stuff that don't matter. From the ashes of Bro Cool Nation, a televised uncensored, we are back. I am your host, Tuong Law, and what you just heard probably was Johnny MacArthur's theme song to the podcast. By this recording, I have not heard it yet, but I imagine it's pretty good. He's all right.
But it's interesting because you'll still hear it before they hear it.
Exactly. So
like you haven't heard it yet, but you have heard it.
Because I would have had to edit it in. Exactly.
So if they are listening to it, you have heard it.
Exactly. So we are PodCavern. PodCavern is a new website dedicated to new podcasts, creative podcasts about basically anything. So this one's mine. Again, it's the Ranked podcast. And today we are going to rank in order. What is it? It's top 5 movies of 2016.
It's a cavern tongue, so there's an echo.
There's a little bit of an echo.
Yep.
PodCavern, cavern.
Okay.
Move
on.
That bit is done. So today I am joined by special guests for our very first podcast. I guess we'll go around the room. We have the jubilar, is that a word? The jubilar Joel.
It's like tubular meets jubilant.
Yeah.
Jubilant.
Would you consider yourself jubilant?
Yeah, sure.
Joel Empey, everyone. And next to him, I'll let you introduce the person beside you.
He is a man with a George Costanza 3/4 length tee on, fitting real nice.
These pretzels are making me thirsty.
Yeah. No, there you heard his voice right there, wearing the Blue Jays hat and the Beats by Dre headphones. Kyle Jones. Nice tight black pants on. It's beautiful.
I like my pants tight.
I like them tight too.
Before the recording even started, Joel has been nonstop talking about Kyle's clothes and the fit on his clothes.
He's got a trim fit, and I appreciate it.
It's a mutual feeling.
Yeah.
We both swiped right on each other.
Oh, wow.
In a pure heterosexual way.
I didn't match with you guys at all. I'm kind of jealous.
I mean, yeah. Wow. Kyle came in wearing a beautiful green jacket. I had an excellent Tommy Hilfiger cardigan. Tongue's looking like a fucking hobo.
I am a hobo.
With a Thrice t-shirt
I'm allowed
and jeans.
to do whatever. I am the host.
Like a 6-year-old Thrice t-shirt and jeans.
You are entering my PodCavern. You're guests here. I can
enough.
dress like a caveman if I want to. Kyle, I know you guys just met, but do you want to do the introduction over here? You can I don't know if you know his last name, but I want to see this.
What do you think his last name is? You can just go with that.
Yeah.
Well, this fine, strapping young lad across from the table to me, his first name is Leslie. Leslie.
Hard S.
With a hard S. Last name, I'm going to go with Toboggan. Similar to Mantis Toboggan. I may be wrong.
I'm going to write something down, and you're going to say it, and you're going to nail my last name on the first try.
Leslie Cserepy.
Whoa, you got it. Everyone, Leslie Cserepy.
How did you do that?
In case you didn't know, one of Kyle's many talents is actually being able to read words as they are meant to be pronounced.
You're a wizard, Kyle. That's my Hagrid. It's not much different than my regular voice.
The wizard is never early.
You're a wizard, Kyle. All right, so we're here today to talk about the top 5 best movies of 2016, but we actually went ahead and cheated and made a master list of a bunch of movies that we think deserve celebration throughout the day. All right, so everyone has a list in front of them. We have 20...
Should we do that thing that every movie podcast does and say, no, these aren't the best movies of 2016, okay? These aren't like the best by, definition, the best movie. These are our favorite movies.
We can do that, but as long as we do it in that voice.
Yeah.
No, I would, for the record, guys, I would just like to say that my main criteria for these movies was whether or not I would watch them alone.
Don't you watch every movie alone?
But yeah, watch it again alone. Would I enjoy this by myself? You know.
Good criteria. Do you guys have criteria for the movies that you like? I match it on like how I feel by the end of the movie. Does it like pull my heartstrings, you know? Or not?
I guess I go with, am I engaged from credit to credit?
That's pretty good. Kyle, you got anything?
Not really so much. Usually.
Okay, moving on.
Kyle's a regular person. He doesn't think too much into these things.
He just picked movies he fucking likes.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what you guys should do too. So here are a couple of our favorite movies. So moving on, number 1 on our list, and these are not ordered, it's just happens to be the first one on our list, is Sing Street on Netflix right now. Anyone seen Sing Street on this table here?
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, buddy.
Big time.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. We're not going to talk at length about all of these movies, but I'll just say that I love Sing Street. I think it's has such a catchy music. I listen to it basically almost every day ever since I've watched it, and yeah, I really enjoyed it. A really lighthearted movie that makes you feel good at the end of it.
So are we going through our own individual top 5s, or are we...
You could just talk about it.
We're just going to talk about it.
Just talk about it. We can go into our top 5s later.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sing Street, I agree. It's so good.
Yeah.
It was, one of my favorites for sure. I really just I found I could relate to many different characters. Like I could relate to the girl, I could relate to Connor, I could relate to the brother, I could even relate to the parents. I just found it really relatable, really realistic. They hit the tone just fucking on the head, in the original music, it's just been on my, I've just been listening to it nonstop, and I think it's incredible how well they hit. Once again, tone was impeccable all the way throughout. But they have these new songs that sound like they were made in the fucking 80s. It's perfect. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like the original music that the Sing Street Band plays. All those songs sound like they're legitimately 80s music.
Yeah. Someone more astute than me on the internet pointed out that the brother character, who is amazing. I don't know the actor's name, but he's phenomenal.
Best character in the movie.
Oh, for sure. But someone has pointed out that the music that he would make his the main character
Connor.
listen to, Connor, the music that he would listen to, the original songs that would come from that were almost always directly inspired from the music he would make him listen to.
Wow,
cool.
I missed that.
Really like that.
Yeah. I haven't watched the movie again, but I want to watch it again with that in mind, because it's oh yeah.
I guarantee I'm gonna watch that movie. Probably that's gonna be top 10 most watched movies of all time for me. I just love it.
Maybe it'll make our list. Kyle, you should watch it.
Yeah, I was going to say, I guess
You're left out that one. Left out of the conversation.
Sorry,
yeah,
there,
circle
buddy.
that.
We'll circle this. I think it's a pretty strong contender. Number 2 is Patriots Day. Anyone seen this? I have not.
I've seen it.
I've seen it.
I did not.
I did not. Okay, go for it, guys. What do you guys have to say? Marky Mark?
For the most part, I liked it. It was a solid action throughout most of it. The only thing I didn't really like about it is how Mark Wahlberg was in every scene, essentially.
What are you talking about? I wasn't in every scene. Hey guys, it's me, Mark Wahlberg.
Oh, Mark Wahlberg. Mark Wahlberg, welcome to the podcast.
He deserved to be in every scene. He's fucking here right now. He's omnipotent, bro.
No, well, I get it because it's a Hollywood movie and he's the star, but he was the cop on the scene of the explosion. He then goes to Watertown, where the shootout happens with the two brothers, and then he finds the guy in the boat. So
it's what? And he's never traveling. You never see him traveling, right?
Do you think the movie would be better if Mark Wahlberg played every single character?
Honestly, that would be
Mark Wahlberg
good.
saves himself.
I have an answer to that question.
Yeah, Mark Wahlberg.
Fucking yeah.
How many paychecks you get on that movie, Marky Mark?
Too many to count. Anyway, guys, I gotta go work out.
Okay.
All right, see you later,
Thanks,
Mark.
Bye.
Okay, great. Moving on. Unless,
I love this movie. The cast is stacked. I thought it was a tad too long, but like I said from the beginning, my criteria, it kept me engaged from beginning to end. And I didn't really know the entire story of what happened, and like the stuff that went on was like,
Oh yeah,
I
it was
couldn't
actually
believe it.
Pretty insane.
Honorable
Sorry, real
mention.
quick about Patriots Day. Did you guys, did either of you look into it afterwards to like check to see like how accurate or factual it was, or did you not care about that? Because like whenever it's a movie based on reality, you know what I mean? Like I'm always tempted to like want to go and like try to find out the real story. Did you guys do that at all?
Yeah, I kind of like I knew a lot of the story beforehand, just because when I'm bored at work, I like just to read articles. It's on Wikipedia, but
That's tax dollars at work, ladies and gentlemen.
but no, like for the most part, yeah, the movie followed the actual chain of events that happened.
So yeah, you're reasonably impressed with it on that aspect.
Yeah, I would definitely recommend seeing it.
Cool. All right, since we have a lot to go through, let's rifle through these. I'm hesitant to bring this one up at number 3 because I feel like this could be a long discussion, but we'll talk about it anyways, is Arrival. Arrival. Actually, to be honest, this is one of my favorite movies of the year, so I think it's very, very... Has everyone seen Arrival in this room?
I've seen it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a smart story that surprised me at the very end, and I thought it was a cool message too, like how language and love is basically the theme of the movie, and I thought it really, really struck that. So
Yeah, I freaking love this movie so much.
Yeah.
I'll get into it later, but yeah, it was pretty darn great, and I didn't see that twist coming. I didn't see it coming. So
spoilers. We should start off by saying there's spoilers.
Oh, there's
We're-
fucking spoilers.
I guess we already spoiled Patriots Day.
Yeah.
But
It's like I spoiled that World War II movie.
yeah, exactly. So yeah, through on out, we're gonna spoil some movies. So yes. Anyone else have anything to say about Arrival? Do you guys think it might be top 5 worthy? I'm just gonna star the ones that we think. might
In
win.
my opinion, no.
Okay.
Like out of those top ones that are the best picture nominated, I honestly thought it was one of the more weaker ones.
I'll cut you. No.
I watched it a few weeks ago, and I don't know, it just didn't really draw me in.
I'll say like to that note, like I found it was like really vanilla. I thought it was more of a summer blockbuster that was like intelligent than a Hollywood movie. And I will say finally, harsh statement coming, folks.
God.
If you said that Arrival was this year's Ex Machina, go fuck yourself. I am.
Has people been saying that?
Yeah, I've heard that a lot, and that fucking pissed me off.
I don't
That might have like made me sour to like the whole movie to begin with. That might have maybe put me in with like high expectations. Because I'll say I liked it. I thought the cinematography was phenomenal. I thought the tone was phenomenal. Thought it was smart and shit. But I just it's not even close to best picture quality in my opinion.
Okay, so Joel and Kyle are wrong, I think.
Yeah,
but
Well, there's
we'll-
a reason why we're on this side of the
it's
table.
true. We're segregating the wrong people on the other side of the table here. We'll move on, and we'll probably
Agree
talk
to
about Arrival
disagree.
again. Yeah, but I'm going to start because I think it's awesome. So, and I wear the pants in this relationship between all of us. So,
That's just not true. The fucking ugly, shitty jeans, maybe.
hey, whatever. I've had these jeans for 4 years. That's value.
These jeans are Calvin Klein. No, mind your P's and Q's.
I don't even know what brand my jeans are. Moana.
Make way.
Oh, God.
That was an actual cast recording, folks.
Yeah, that is Lin-Manuel singing along and harmonizing with me and Leslie.
That's right.
I love this movie. I think, and I'll just say off the top, I think this year in movies, animated movies were a little bit not as great as previous years. I think last year, Inside Out was my number 1 favorite movie of the year and several years actually. Like
agreed.
It was just a phenomenal animated picture. So I have a little soft spot for animated films. So I thought this year was a little bit not as could reach the bar as like Inside Out, but out of all of the ones, I thought Moana was the one that just made me feel happy. And I think it's a large part is the music and the way it looks.
Music's great. The story's great.
Story's great as well. Yeah, I have a little gripes.
It
with
features a female protagonist who doesn't have a male love interest, which is awesome. It's fun. It's funny. It's a good movie.
It's a solid movie. Let's talk about another solid movie, La La Land. Oh my God.
Yeah, that was.
I just want to start singing and dancing after I saw this
They
movie.
were quite catchy songs.
City of
It was actual cast recording.
Oh, is Ryan Gosling in the room? What'd you guys think?
It was one of my favorites of the year for sure. It's going to be in my vote for one of the top 5 movies of the year.
Yeah,
the first
for
one
sure.
that we've listed
Agreed.
so far. I know, 6.
Do we want to talk about that afterwards? Because it sounds like we're probably going to add this movie.
I think this is gonna make a bunch of lists.
Let's
so
table
it's-
this. Like, this is definitely going to make the list. Hacksaw Ridge. I didn't see it.
Oh, I loved it.
Yeah.
It was probably one of the best war movies, I think, since Saving Private Ryan.
Whoa. That's a bold statement.
And there were scenes in it that were legit terrifying.
It's crazy. I really, really walked away and enjoyed a lot of the movie, but I think it's 2 different movies. I think you have the drama film up top about this soldier who's trying to come over his moral obligations to be in the war, and then you have shit hits the fan, craziest war movie you've ever seen,
Like,
non-stop action, non-stop.
insane.
The I hate to say it, but the gore effects are incredible.
Yeah, it was brutal.
You guys
Yeah.
like gory stuff. How could you?
I did not see it for the same reason I didn't see certain movies, like Hidden Figures, for example, is another one that I didn't see for the same reason that it's just like seems. It's because I'm racist. And sexist. No, it's because it seems like so obvious and manipulative. Like it's just like it's clearly got an agenda, and it's just like gonna glorify like this, like like single source. And I just cannot stand when movies are kind of like preachy and obvious like that. Like two examples I would use to like show you what kind of movie I'm talking about are like Concussion and American Sniper. Like I fucking despised both of those movies, and it's because they just had this narrative that they were just trying to shove down your throat so much. Like Chris Kyle, this super American sniper who is like brave and like they're just trying to talk him up so much, and I fucking hate that. Or like Concussion, where they have like an idea and they're just, pardon the pun, beating it over the head, and like they're just
the truth, John.
yeah, like it's just like get out of here with that shit. Like
What do you guys think? You guys think
was it like that at all?
It's a Mel Gibson movie, so there was definitely some religious overtones.
Yeah.
And maybe not even overtones. Maybe just like,
Blatant
hey,
bladder.
God. Yeah.
But that might be reasonable as well. What was it, World War I or II?
World War II.
World War II.
And-
So like, I mean, people were more religious back then, and had reasons to be religious. Horrific shit like war going on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, it's a true story too. Like,
Yeah, but I mean, American Sniper's a true story, and that's what I mean
Yeah,
about like
that's-
going. That's what I mean
that's
about
true.
going back and like with like I said with Patriots Day, going back and really like pouring over the story yourself and trying to like draw like objective conclusions. Like, did you do that for the Hacksaw Ridge at all?
well, I didn't really know the full story behind it, and so
I didn't either. So it was really just a ride, a journey.
Yeah.
With this person, and
also I thought Vince Vaughn was actually pretty underrated in it.
I
I don't know.
found him out of place. To be quite honest.
That's what I thought at first, just because.
Ladies and gentlemen, Hacksaw Ridge, a divisive movie. It sounds like we don't know, but
don't know.
sounds like good enough.
Definitely
to watch.
not on the list.
Definitely, probably not on the list. But it sounds like it's pretty. I think I would give it a
Maybe
watch.
I'll give it a chance.
I'll give it a chance.
And if I don't like it,
know
I'm
what?
coming to your front door,
I
Kyle.
hang too much with Joel. He's just a big naysayer. He just hates everything good. Speaking of things that are good, I like the next thing on this list. In fact, I didn't even vote for it, so I'm pretty surprised it was on this list, which was Captain America: Civil War. Who voted for that?
I put it on my honorable
Honorable mentions?
mentions.
It was
'cause-
on my top 10 list, but I'm not sure if it was on the one I gave you.
It's definitely not even on my top 10 list, which I would consider myself a pretty big Marvel geek. But you guys want to talk about that, or just real quick?
I don't know, like the whole just the airport scene alone, like
Yeah.
how could,
Yeah.
like it's pure joy. Mm-hmm. It's pure.
Seeing Ant-Man just like
Be
go
Giant
really
Man.
big.
Oh my god,
and-
yeah. I agree. Yeah, the airport scene alone was just fantastic, and it's the culmination of every single Marvel movie. It kind of just rewards all the fans who were big into every single Marvel movie up to that point, because they kind of bring it back together. And the reason why there's like a riff in their brotherly relationship is justified, as opposed to like Batman versus Superman, where you don't know why they're fighting, except I have no idea why they're fighting. Martha. Martha.
Might be number one. We don't know.
Be BVS, yeah, it could be on this list. It's not. Moving on. This one is...
It's a big one with Trump supporters.
Oh, yeah?
Spoiler alert, it's not even on fucking Ben Affleck's list, bro.
Oh,
like remember when he was promoting that movie and he was just like clearly not into it at
Sad
all.
Affleck,
He was
yeah.
sad flick, yeah, sad flick.
Moonlight is our next movie on our list. This one's pretty big. I think it's top 5 worthy. Do we want to talk about this now, or do people think it might not make it on?
I liked it a lot, but it's not top 5 for me.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
in the
It's
same
the
boat
same.
as Joel.
Okay,
Yeah,
maybe
yeah.
I'm just the one.
Yeah, you're the only one in the top 5.
It's an incredible movie, no doubt. But
It so to me like if it could have kept that pace that it set in the first third, if it could have kept that for the second and third, I thought every act, so to speak, it got exponentially worse. Like the second one was exponentially worse than the first one, and then the third act was way worse than the second. The second like had some good shit in it, but like in general it wasn't great. But the first act, Mahershala Ali or however you say his name, like that's the supporting actor of the year in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. But
I was going to say, if we were doing a top 5 for smashing chairs over people's backs, it would definitely be in my top 5.
That was probably the best scene in the movie because that felt
hey,
real.
that was in the second third.
I
so-
thought
yeah. That's why I said the second third wasn't as bad as the third.
I thought the teenage actor in that second portion just carried the entire movie. He was my favorite out of the 3 interpretations.
Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna kind of hedge my statement a little bit and say the second act was also really solid for sure. The third act just fell flat.
Yeah.
I really liked it. The third actor that had to play, and it's crazy because they had 3 completely different looking actors play the same guy, which I thought was a little bit strange. But to me, they did embody the same character. And the last guy was really interesting because he was just like this huge jack guy.
It took a while to realize that it was the same
exactly.
person.
But it's cool because he has the same tics, and like in his facial emotions, you can see that he has the same baggage as he did when he was just a kid. And I thought that's a really hard role to play in the first place. And I actually really enjoyed how it all wrapped up too. So
Legit. I might give his mom supporting actress of the year as well.
I disagree with that.
Okay.
Not because of the performance. I just think that part wasn't written well.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
Huh. I in terms of Oscars, I think Moonlight has a really strong chance of winning Best Picture for Oscars people. I think it's a really big contender for that. It has like a really heavy, meaty message behind it, and it's pretty topical.
After last year's Oscars So White, it
is this year's color movie of the year.
It might be. Like, I don't know. You know, it very well might could. That could be the route they go. This year.
Well, I really liked it, but it sounds like it might not make the top 5. We're at number 9 of 23, so let's keep it moving. OJ Made in America. I did not see this. This is a doc?
Number 1 of the year for me. Number 1.
Please.
So it's 7.5 hours long, if you will. It's broken into 5 parts, but it counts as a movie because it aired at Sundance originally, and it is actually nominated for the Oscar for Best Documentary. It's the longest movie ever nominated for an Oscar. That doesn't mean it's good, obviously, or anything, but just the way that they told this story, it was transcendent, you know, because like it's a transcendent story. Like it was the trial of the century, right? Like it was like Trump times 5 in the fucking 90s, you know, when it was going on. And they break this thing down and they tell you the whole story from OJ's like beginning all the way until like well past the trial. And we're finally far enough away from it now in time that they can piece the whole story together. It was like watching an artist paint a mosaic though. Like the way that they were able to like progressively disclose like the information to you. Like at first they're just telling a story about like race relations in LA in like the 60s, and you're like, how the fuck, like you don't even know how this like relates to like I thought I was watching a show about OJ killing his wife, you know. And they just as it goes on and on, you just realize how that information that they told you in like the first part of it, when you get to like the fourth, fifth part, you see how it's like relevant, and you see how like it's cyclical, because like the LA race relations in the 90s, obviously the LA riots like became horrific again, and it was a largely like the way that so they were able to draw parallels and comparisons to like the 60s, and they show you how like the race relations between the LAPD and the black community basically in LA directly leaded to OJ walking away, because it was like unequivocal that he obviously fucking killed his wife and the guy that she was banging. Like, obviously, it's unequivocal. They corroborate it with like witness testimonials, like from all of his best friends growing up the whole way. They corroborate it with home video. They corroborate it with interviews, depositions. It's ridiculous. So it's unequivocal. But the reason why, largely why, because it's a jury that decides the fate, right? And relations were so bad between the LAPD and like the black public, like it had been in the 60s, that it was very conceivable that the LAPD had like set him up, or white people had set him up. And you see this like, but like the way that they're able to just break this whole thing down and tell you the whole story. Like, this is the trial of the century. This was the biggest story. This was like, except for World War I and II, like this was the biggest fucking story of I'm dead serious. And that's not hyperbole. That's not like of the could be worldwide story, North American story. Like, ask your parents or some shit. Like, we weren't quite old enough. Like, we were alive, but we weren't old enough to really know the phenomenon. But it was like the Trump phenomenon, you know, where like it's just everywhere. Like, all the news cycles, that's all anybody's talking about. Like, this is the biggest story, one of the biggest stories of the 20th century, and this is the full comprehensive untold story with layers. We're privy to details that people that followed it like ridiculously closely in the 90s while it was ongoing, they never even fucking were aware of. We're privy of all sorts of extra details, and that's why it's my vote for number one, because like this is the story of one of the best stories of the 20th century, and this is the comprehensive telling of that story. I'm telling you, this is the best of the year.
Well, Joel just made a passionate.
So you're saying it's good?
It's phenomenal, Kyle.
So we're gonna cut it from the list and move on. No, well, we'll get back.
It was the best of the year. I'm telling you, it was the best. Everybody needs to see that. Like, it was the best documentary ever. Period.
I will maybe watch the 7-hour movie, but it sounds interesting.
It's broken into 5 1.5 hour parts, so it's super digestible.
I can believe that.
It's making a murderer, but way better and without an agenda.
We're going to move on. We're going to move on into one of my favorite movies of the year, possibly my number one, it actually is. Hunt for the Wilder People. This is on Netflix right now, so you can totally watch it. This movie kind of came out of nowhere for me. Mm-hmm. I thought, did you guys all watch it? Or
I have not seen it.
No, I started watching it. I got like half an hour in, and then I had.
Oh, you didn't like it?
No, not at all. I was super into it.
You didn't like it at all.
I had to didn't like it at all. Hated it. Yep.
Okay, well, we're gonna cut it from the list.
I don't like kiwis.
Fucking kiwis.
We're gonna.
I love kiwis. I love the New Zealand.
I'm gonna probably push for this movie in the top 5. So I'm gonna table it because I do want to move on. Did I write La La Land twice? I think I did.
Sure did.
So
because it's so damn good.
It's so good. I'm gonna cut La La Land.
Cut
the
11,
the first one stays.
5.
The second one is cut immediately.
La La Land 2.
Electric Boogaloo.
The next one we have is Pop Star. Never Stop, Never Stopping. Did everyone watch this movie?
I've seen it.
I have not.
I saw it. It was on my list.
Really quickly, I don't think it will make top 5, but I think it is my favorite comedy of the year. Probably. And I think Lonely Island stuff is just, I think it's just their best album, period.
I think it's their best album, period, as well. Like, I'm listening to it nonstop. I came in here today listening to it,
exactly,
in fact. And, I thought it was phenomenal. I thought it was the funniest movie I had seen in the theaters since This Is the End. Like, I could clearly remember when I was watching it in the theaters, I was laughing so hard. I had the thought. I was like, when was the last time I laughed this hard?
Well,
and it was
scenes
3
with the-
years previous.
The scenes with the TMZ crew had me in stitches. Like, every time his water bottle's getting bigger and bigger.
Yeah, they've just murdered tone in that, and like the original music once again was phenomenal.
Yeah, and there's dong, so
Yeah, plus there's dong hanging.
there's dong hanging.
There's a dong
and
hanging.
if there's
Oh.
dong hanging, it's
Kobe-
like
My interest
number one
is
for Joel at
peaked.
all time.
Copious weed smoking too. It's always
yeah.
fun.
Yeah, so right up your alley if you're into those things, dong and weed. So yeah, I think it's a fantastic movie, and if anything else, if you don't feel like watching it for whatever reason, then that soundtrack is just phenomenal. So definitely
If
give
you
that
like
a
The
jump.
Lonely Island,
Yes,
I mean,
exactly.
Yeah.
it's a fucking new Lonely Island album.
Moving on, War Dogs. Is this Jonah Hill movie with
Yeah.
Miles Teller?
Yeah,
I
that's
did
the
not
one.
see
Todd Phillips directed.
Cool.
Yeah,
Did not see it.
So like these type of movies to me, like I hate comic book movies as well. Like I fucking think that they're the worst pieces of shit on the planet.
Wait, what movies?
Comic book movies. As a general sweeping statement, there are exceptions.
You're ridiculous, but
to me, like these kind of movies, like the War Dogs, are like my comic book movie. It's that big budget. Like I love like a crime comedy sort of feel, and like War Dogs to me was like Pain and Gain meets Wolf of Wall Street, and it was just there's just drug use, it's just fucking parties, and like it's a big budget. You see like extravagant shit, like it's I just love to me that's fun. Like those are my like fun guilty pleasure, turn my mind off
Jonah
type of
Hill's
movies.
laugh alone in it
Is worth
enough
it.
for me.
I don't really see the comparison. Is it a actual comic book movie? Is it comic books at all?
No, what
Or
Joel
are you
was
just
saying-
kind of saying you just don't like big budget movies?
No,
Is
I
usually-
was saying that I hate comic book movies, but like these type of
But,
these crime comedies are like my because they're a big budget. Like these are like my popcorn flicks. Is what I'm
Also,
saying.
Joel hates Mad Max Fury Road. So
Yeah, it
he's
was like that
fucking
was a
ridiculous.
fucking horrendous piece of shit,
Okay,
and
you
I
can
will
stop.
never stop. I will never stop, never stopping. But these are like my popcorn flicks are like these like big budget comedies with like extravagant shit. Those are my popcorn movies.
Speaking of the best comedy of the year, we're moving on to Manchester by the Sea.
Hilarious.
Just full on Leslie's laughing. So, you want to talk about that?
You're a
just-
morbid fuck,
Just
Leslie.
remembering all those good times. in
Good
this
times
movie.
in Manchester by the Sea.
Yeah.
It's actually, I'll start by saying, it actually drained the hell out of me by the end of it. I was very
Oh yeah, it's
kind of
depressing as hell.
depressed and just kind of somber by the end of it.
Somber is a polite way to put
Yeah.
it, I suppose.
Leslie?
Yeah, I've listened to a lot of reviews of this movie, and I hear these same kinds of reactions about how everyone was drained and how it was so depressing and stuff like that. I thought it was like a really good movie, and I didn't have an emotional reaction to it. I thought it was really good. I thought some of the scenes were like absolutely brutal, but at the end, my day went on.
It didn't make you feel.
No, I'm a cold, heartless robot.
Kyle, did you see this?
Yeah, I really liked it. Yeah, depressing as hell, but what I kind of liked about it is how in typical movies like that where this guy he becomes the new parent of the child, and there's always they don't like each other at first. It's like, oh, I hate you, you're not my real dad, blah blah blah, stuff like that. It's basically your typical cheesy Hollywood line. Then they have a coming of heart moment and are all of a sudden best friends by the end of the movie. This I just kind of found like he was a normal kid and it's his uncle, and they don't there's no kind of tension or stuff between them. It's like if that were to happen in real life, that's pretty much how it would go.
It's certainly a slice of life movie.
Yeah, and I really liked the supporting actor in that movie. I thought he was super strong.
I
Probably
think
one of my
Casey
favorite.
Affleck will get the best actor.
And Casey Affleck was good too, but I really liked the kid.
The kid.
The kid was just awesome. I want to move on to Hell or High Water. What a cool movie! Anyone see it?
Yeah.
This was
fun.
my number one.
Ooh. Oh, finding out people's number one is super interesting.
I'm gonna keep mine secret.
Yeah.
Why are you so secretive?
why
Why
are you
are you
so
keeping the
secretive?
cards
You gotta
close
have
to
some
chest?
suspense at the end of this. You know?
Well, maybe I lied this entire time. Maybe Joel lied about his number
No,
one. He actually hates OJ.
I had a feel. I don't know if you guys could tell. I had a feeling that I was gonna have to plead the OJ case a little bit.
You did
Yeah.
before we even got into
Just
the,
a little.
the
So,
thing. Hell or High Water. Let's talk about that. Kyle, since it's your number one, go for it.
I just liked it. Drew me in more and more as the movie went on, and Ben Foster is one of my favorite actors.
One of the most
Super
underrated.
underrated.
Actors.
Yeah,
One of the most underrated
I
actors.
can agree with that.
100%.
You got the sense in the movie he was maybe a veteran, like he had the kind of psychological issues.
He had been in prison, I think.
Prison?
Yeah, I think he was in prison.
He was in prison for a bit, then he was let go.
But I could see the veteran overtones, especially like with him, like the way he was shooting at the end of the movie and shit.
Yeah, and there was a scene where he was sleeping on the couch, and then Chris Pine like goes to wake him up, and he just has kind of like
A sudden reaction.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a really violent reaction to
Like-
it, like a PTSD.
Yeah,
type
exactly.
type of reaction. Yeah, I didn't catch it, but I admittedly.
I think Chris Pine over the years has become. I've liked him more and more as the years have gone on. I think, especially within this movie, I really enjoyed his role in this movie, along with Ben Foster. I thought they were like a really great pairing, and Jeff Bridges is Jeff Bridges, and he's just
Yeah,
he's
one of
just
my
always good in a Western.
favorite scenes was at the end, the like dialogue between Jeff Bridges and Chris Pine on the
So
front
good,
porch.
yeah.
That was like the best part of the movie for me
Yeah.
as well.
Super cool.
I really love the interplay between Jeff Bridges and his partner.
Yeah.
God, like just
He's
the back and
he's
forth.
racist towards him.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't remember that his partner's name, but he's in Parks and Rec. I remember that. So
Yeah,
um,
good stuff.
good stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a fun movie.
And it's like they're like really like full body characters too, and it's a Western that's not like a bah, 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 shooting everywhere and stuff. It's like
bandit flick, you know.
more like it's well paced, and it's like thrilling too when they start like going into like the chasing and stuff. So I thought it was really cool.
I found like the gun kills too, they would just catch me off guard.
Mm-hmm.
Like when they were in that one bank, and the one it was the security guard that they were in the shootout with, and
Mm-hmm.
Ben Foster just comes out from the side and
He's like bah, 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 bah. Well, just one.
and
Yeah.
and then Jeff Bridges' partner in the shootout in the mountains.
Oh, spoils. No kidding. It's okay. So moving on. Lion. I just saw this yesterday. Who saw this?
I've seen it.
I saw it. I gotta say, I thought it was a horrific piece of fucking shit. I thought that to me, this is unquestionably the worst movie on this list. Does not deserve to be on this list. That was a fucking horrendous piece of shit.
Who
the
did
first
it?
half of that.
Joel doesn't like orphans.
Of course I don't like orphans. They're fucking dirty.
This is why this podcast is explicit. Laura asked me, "Why are you putting explicit?" I'm like, "Someone's gonna drop."
I can't help myself, but swear I've probably dropped more than everybody here. I apologize. But so here's the thing with Lion. The first half, once again, almost like with Moonlight, the first half of that movie was honestly phenomenal. Like, it was incredible. I was captivated. I loved every fucking second of the first half of that movie. But as soon as it hit that second half, that was I honestly I have no idea how anybody liked that at all. That was the worst fucking half of a movie I have seen ever, maybe. And then they have the fucking audacity to hit you with this fucking emotional video at the end, and everybody leaves it all teary-eyed, thinking that they're like, "Oh, but the ending was so good. How could you not like Lion?" It's like, no, the ending wasn't good. It was fucking manipulative. They basically gave you like a soldier coming home video at the end. Obviously, that's going to elicit an emotional reaction. You know what I mean? So they give you a horrible fucking second half of that movie, and then they cap it off with a 5-minute like emotional bullshit. Like, the audacity of those filmmakers is ridiculous. I hate that. That's manipulative filmmaking. That's emotional manipulation. Fuck you for doing it.
And 80% of our listeners have just shut off the podcast.
Fuck that. Yo, honestly, if you like that movie, like, go back and rewatch it with what I said in mind, and if you still like it, you're a fucking sheep. Like straight up. Like, that is like
right, Joel, okay.
that is sheep shit right there. That is
Okay,
like that
okay.
is turning people into sheep. That's like, everybody
Let's
clap
turn-
your hands. Like, it's like that. Obviously, you're going to elicit a reaction when you show something like that. Why don't you show cute puppy videos for 10 goddamn minutes at the end of your movie? People are probably going to leave thinking, "Oh, it was so adorable."
So let's turn.
complaints from me.
Let's
Puppies are sweet.
I like puppies. Let's who put this on their list? And Joel, without getting into another,
That was my tire.
That's your okay. Then who put this movie on their list?
That was me. I honestly enjoyed
You're a
it.
sheep, so no.
So yeah, according to Joel, I am a sheep.
Go back and rewatch it with what I just said in mind.
No, it's more so I just kind of more like Dev Patel.
I like Dev Patel too. I thought it was good.
I find, yeah, he's. a
What
good
did you
actor.
like about the Dev Patel part of the movie? What was good there?
I don't know. I'm easily amused. So
But like for either of you, if you saw Line and liked it, what was good about the Dev Patel part?
The Dev Patel part, I mean, I just enjoyed it. He was just trying to find his original family or his
a
mom
cool
and his
story.
brother. Like that's literally, it's just an orphan trying to find home.
What was good about the Dev Patel part?
Well,
What
I
did
thought
you
he
like
played it
there?
well.
What did you like there?
I thought he played it well. He played it as someone who was trying to find his home, so he gave up a lot of the things that he liked, including his girlfriend, which I thought was kind of. I didn't really enjoy Rooney
yeah,
Mara.
the love interest part.
I think that was kind of shoehorned in.
They.
What
didn't
about
really
what
need
about
that
his
in there.
orphan brother? You like all that information? Was that good for
my
you?
man Santosh?
Yeah, I thought it was okay. Yeah, I liked it. But I mean, I don't want to. We're here to celebrate movies today, Joel.
Yeah, that's the only one that like I am vehemently against. Like
Okay.
I am inflexible on that manner.
I enjoyed it. I thought it was a solid flick. It didn't make my top 10, but I thought it was pretty decent.
Didn't see it.
Dev Patel, is that you? No.
It was this year's Mad Max for me, where everybody fucking liked it and it was a horrendous piece of
We're
shit.
gonna move on. Does this movie qualify? I thought this movie came out in January. The Founder.
It
Yeah,
did come out in January. I would
okay.
not qualify it, Kyle.
Okay, yeah, that
All
was.
right. I'm immediately crossing it off.
I
To
think
be
it
honest,
pro-
I watched most of these movies in January, so I wasn't quite sure.
Fair enough.
Apparently, The Founder is good, but we won't even give it airtime.
I'm gonna check it out ASAP.
Yeah,
I was
actually wanna
saving
see
it
it.
until
I wanna see
after
it.
this podcast because
I
I
wanna
didn't
see
want
it
to
too.
pollute my brain with.
I'll
I
just
like
say, I
McDonald's.
really wanted like a Big Mac watching it.
Nice. You should have got McDonald's before watching it.
Yeah, I didn't.
I'll take that
Take-
lesson and move
take it
forward
into
with
the
it.
movie.
Uber eats more McDonald's as like passing hours go.
Every half an hour on the half hour, bring me another Big Mac.
Side note: all day breakfast starts tomorrow.
Oh boy, that's exciting. Forever?
Yeah,
Jesus.
Guys, I have to go.
in perpetuity.
I need to prepare.
10 Cloverfield Lane. We only have a couple more to go, guys. 10 Cloverfield Lane. I heard it's great. I did not see it.
It is the one of the tensest movies of the year.
Yeah, I really liked it.
It is so you hold your breath at moments. The writing is really well done. Mary Elizabeth Winstead is really just phenomenal in the movie, as is John Goodman.
Oh my god, John Goodman was terrifying.
Just like the simple little things of him squeezing his hands over and over again, and you just see the inner hate and feelings that this guy has. Like it has ridiculous, crazy turns. This movie, I really loved it. I didn't see the ending coming, and it was out of left field for me.
Yeah.
But I didn't hate it, and yeah, it was great. It's directed by Dan Trachtenberg, one of the of Totally Rad Show fame. If you guys, that's a deep cut.
Ooh, deep cut. I don't
But
know.
he had a podcast where he was reviewing movies and video games and stuff like that. It was called The Totally Rad Show, and now he is directing J.J. Abrams movies and stuff.
So we could be the next J.J. Abrams in a
we
couple
could
years.
do it,
we
guys.
could, as a collective, except for Joel because he hates movies. Moving on, do you guys ever? I really want to see 10 Cloverfield Lane. I heard it's nothing like Cloverfield the movie, and I didn't
Nothing.
like that movie, which is great. 'cause
It's a spiritual
successor?
Successor.
Yeah. Awesome.
It is now Cloverfield has now become the new Twilight Zone
Cool.
sort of thing. It's its
I just
own-
like the whole rollout of the movie, how like they kept it under wraps for a while. Then I think it was J.J. Abrams who tweeted the trailer or something. It was like 10 Cloverfield Lane, and everyone's like, I didn't even know they were making this. And like the entire trailer for it gave you a little bit.
gave you
honestly,
enough kind of thing.
It would just leave you with more
I
questions.
stopped watching the trailer halfway through because it was like
You're one of
it's
those
giving-
people,
I
right?
hate-
There's a lot- there's a
I
lot of
hate
people-
fucking trailers.
I don't watch
hate
trailers.
them.
There's a
I
lot
hate
of
them.
people like that. I think
Give away way
If I'm
too
going to
much.
see a movie, I'm going to see a movie.
I like a
don't need to be
teaser.
sold.
You know what though? I think there should be. I think there probably is like an award for like good trailers because I would say Suicide Squad has great trailers. It's a terrible movie. Do not watch it, but has great trailers, and I think there's an art to that. personally.
It's a lost art, actually.
Yeah. The next one hits right home for me. Rogue One, A Star Wars Story. I wrote this one on my list. Did anyone else kind of have this on there?
I'm pretty sure it was on mine.
Really quickly, this is probably divisive as well. I say that Rogue One is my personal favorite Star Wars film. And then people are like, what the fuck? But the original 3, fuck you.
They faint like they're a girl at an Elvis concert in the 50s.
I just think that the idea of having the top 3 untouchable is ridiculous. Some people will be like, oh no, the top 3, no matter what. No matter what comes up, the top 3 are the best. But I think Rogue One was awesome. I really enjoyed how they don't even give you lightsabers until the very end of the movie. The Force is just kind of in the air. You don't really see it, but it's kind of in the background, kind of working its magic and stuff. It's a really diverse cast too, female lead. You got Donnie Yen kicking ass. Really good space fights, and it's an actual war. People are actually fighting in this movie and I thought it was really, really strong. So.
And I liked how it, the plot hole from A New Hope, it's why would they build this Death Star with a vulnerable spot like that?
Exactly. And that was my main gripe with the original. I'm no, yeah, they kind of just I guess retcon is the word for it.
Yeah.
They kind of fix that, and they're oh, this is the reason. It's because of this guy and all that kind of stuff. So did you watch it, Leslie?
I did. I was sort of nonplussed on it. It was not bad.
Yeah.
But definitely not one of my favorites of the year. The music I found was super underwhelming. And I know that the composer... Who ended up doing it? Was it Hans Zimmer? No.
No, I don't think so.
John Williams?
No, it wasn't.
It definitely wasn't John Williams.
Yeah, I don't know who did the music for it.
But I just remember being so let down where it's long, long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. And then whatever that was happened.
But
and it was
didgeridoos come
this
in.
isn't right.
But there's no
This isn't right.
title crawl. There's none of that. I really respect, and again, spoilers. I respect that they literally kill everyone at the end of the movie. So there is no room for Rogue One number 2 because it makes sense. These people were on this suicide mission. They do the mission and it's done.
So they were a Suicide Squad.
They were a Suicide Squad, but better than Suicide Squad.
Well, the Suicide Squad didn't even fucking commit suicide.
No. Fuck.
No.
Misleading.
God, I hate that movie so much. Suicide Squad, not Rogue One.
So in conclusion, your favorite Star Wars movie isn't a real Star Wars movie.
In conclusion, you saying Rogue One's not a real Star Wars movie?
Was there a scroll at the beginning?
There was not a crawl at the beginning. It's called a crawl.
It's a scroll.
It's a crawl.
It's a scroll.
Okay, moving on. I actually really enjoyed this movie here. Nice Guys.
I thought it was hilarious.
Yeah, it was fun.
It's great.
I didn't see it. I'm so sad.
It was really uniquely stylized because it had this whole 70s sort of feel to it, but it was modern. They had cell phones and everything like that, but it had this real 70s feel to it. It kind of felt forced to me. At times, the relationship, it just kind of seemed clunky and forced at times. But I did enjoy it.
Shane Black, though, he understands that buddy cop.
Yeah, some of the
aspect
camaraderie and shit like that seemed
Yeah.
clunky and forced to me.
Really? Okay.
Yeah,
Well, he's
some of
the
that.
Guy
But
who kind of spearheaded the whole thing. So.
yeah, it was fine. It was enjoyable, but definitely not even top 10 for me.
Ooh. I thought it was hilarious.
Yeah, I found Ryan Gosling, he's surprisingly funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, and good on him because 2 of my favorite movies this year were Nice Guys and La La Land, and they're really different. In Nice Guys, he has some good comedy chops, and you kind of forget that because he was in Breaker High though.
Maybe it's because I know Russell
that's a
Crowe's an
comedy.
asshole. I think that might be part that just kind of sours me. I can't buy their relationship because I know Russell Crowe's an asshole.
You know Russell Crowe?
Did he beat you up on Russell Crowe fighting over the world?
Fight around the world. No, he did not. But yeah, I mean the guy's an asshole. It's kind of well documented. It's like Mel Gibson. It's kind of a well documented thing. I don't know him personally, but I mean,
maybe
word on the street.
Maybe you'd
I
like
should
him if
say
you
I
got
should
to
say
know him.
allegedly. I'm sorry. I should say allegedly he's an asshole.
Right. You can't just say he's an asshole.
Allegedly.
Allegedly, Trump's an asshole.
Allegedly. I didn't say it.
No, he's an
Allegedly.
asshole. Moving on. I put this movie on the
You
list. I'm
just-
sure nobody has watched it. Train to Busan. recommended by our Joel and I's mutual friend Taylor. So good. If you like zombie films, zombies are kind of like people are tired of zombies. Between Walking Dead and a bunch of like zombie Call of Duty video games, it's just played out. So this one has a really fresh take on zombies, and it's a South Korean zombie film, and it's really the zombies themselves are the thing that kind of scares me. What do you guys think about fast zombies? Zombies that
Horrifying.
Horrifying.
Like 28 days later shit.
Those are the worst type of zombies.
Yeah, like I'm committing suicide immediately.
They're faster as a zombie than they are in real life. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's like
endless stamina.
It's like they're zombies, but they're fast.
Yeah,
they're zombies with ambition.
You know,
fast zombies.
They're like fast zombies.
Yeah, fast zombies, and these are the type of zombies that once they bite you, you're fucked, like instantly fucked, and you become like one
as
of them.
opposed to other zombies.
Well,
where
you know
they
how
bite
like
you
it takes time.
It takes time. You can chop off
You're
your arm.
instantly
There's
enraged.
maybe a chance for you. Like as soon as you're bit, you're like within like a minute, you're fucked. So this movie's it's cool because you're like, oh well, it takes mostly place on a train, and you're like, oh, how much could you do on a train? Every car kind of looks the same.
Title's making more sense to me.
Yeah, I know. It's
Yeah,
it's an aptly
and then
named
at
movie.
some point they switch
Wait,
trains.
is it Train in South Korea? Aptly
Yeah,
named.
they're trying to get to
Aptly named.
Busan, so
My brother lives in Busan.
I strongly recommend it. It moves really quickly, and it's a really exciting zombie flick. It's a cool movie to check out.
I'll definitely give it a shot.
Don't Breathe. Anyone see this?
Yeah.
I really like this movie.
I liked it. It wasn't. I don't know if it was my favorite horror movie.
Her Green Room's really good.
Green Room
was
is
awesome.
Pretty good.
It's not on this list. We can't even talk about it.
Oh,
no,
boy.
you can talk about
Well,
it.
I thought because it came out in 2015.
Did it?
It was released wide in 2016, so I don't know what.
I would give it a 2016. People.
Yeah, I saw it last.
It would have
year.
been on my list then, but
Yeah.
here.
Don't Breathe. I thought there was some really nice set pieces in it. When they're stumbling around in the basement and it's dark, but everything we can see it because it's night vision.
The night vision
that was
part
kind of
was
cool.
really cool,
That
yeah.
that was really neat.
I thought there was some really good tension in that movie. I thought it was really cool.
Yeah, there's. I remember talking to you about this, Tuong, where it's like for the first half of the movie, you see this guy. It's like this blind guy is completely in the right to be doing everything he's doing because these people are breaking into his
And
home,
trying to steal his money.
Like they're completely right to do that. And then halfway through, we find out that this blind guy is a complete asshole.
He's a complete asshole. Locks some chick in the basement.
Exactly. So I kind of liked the moral ambiguity of the first half.
You would have preferred if he wasn't like a crazy man.
I don't know, but I just found that idea a little bit more interesting than.
Did you see this, Kyle?
No, I have not, but I remember seeing previews for it in the theaters, and I definitely want to see
What's
it.
this actor's name again? He wants to play Cable in Deadpool. He's in Avatar. He's the bad guy in Avatar. God, I'm just gonna blow my mind.
The bad guy in Avatar, wasn't that he was Norman Reedus' brother in The Walking Dead?
No,
Merle?
Oh
it's
no,
not. No,
it's not Merle.
No,
Michael Rooker. That's who you're thinking of.
it's
Yeah,
not
that's
Michael
who-
Rooker.
It's not Michael Rooker.
It's the bad guy in Avatar. Moving on. Last movie I have on this list is Deadpool. Did anyone see this movie?
I saw it with you.
Oh, great. Yes.
I also saw it.
With me?
Nope.
Did you see this movie with me, Leslie?
I saw it by myself.
I saw it sans tongue.
Oh, did you guys like this movie? I it's not in my top 10, I don't even think, but I put it because I wanted to give it an honorable mention. I think
Not loved.
I liked it, but it's not in my top 10.
I think it's cool what they did with their budget. It's clearly like a cheaper R-rated superhero movie, but they showed they can do a lot with the R-rated, what do you call it? Designation. That's the wrong word.
Yeah.
But
More freedom.
yeah, so they had freedom to actually play around with the character, and I think it's like the best. Like Ryan Reynolds is perfect as Deadpool, I thought, and
I
it
like
was just really fun, and I like dick jokes, and
Yeah, I like
there's a
the
lot of
banter
dick
between
jokes.
him and TJ Miller.
Yeah.
Phenomenal.
It's really fun. Okay, guys. Well, we just spent the last almost hour spending just talking about all these movies, but we have to make a top 5 list and order them. We've talked a lot about these movies, but we will only bring the ones that we think will probably make this list. So I'm gonna just say the ones that I kind of starred, and we can say if it should make it or not. Sing Street.
Yeah.
Arrival.
Yeah.
No. That's a 50-50.
I'm just
Let the
gonna
record show.
La La Land.
Yeah.
Yes. Moonlight was probably not I
No.
really liked it, but I think it's a losing fight. I'm gonna put Moonlight up here anyways because I really liked it, and I'm the boss. Hunt for the Wilder People.
Yeah.
Yes.
You two didn't see it?
I have not seen it.
Hell or High Water. I'm gonna put up
Yes.
here. I don't think I'll have enough support for Rogue One.
I know Joel really liked Lion.
I'm gonna
Probably
put
put that
Lion.
on
I'm gonna
there.
put
Yeah,
Lion
let's
up
put
here,
Lion as number
and
1.
I'm gonna definitively cross out OJ Made in America. No, I'll put OJ Made in America up on this list because I think Joel will have a hissy fit if we don't put it up.
Well, let me just say, for the record,
you don't have to yet. Okay.
I made way more of a passionate argument and a well-articulated argument for OJ Made in America than anybody made for anything.
But you might have been Lion.
And best pun goes to Kyle Jones, so it just nullifies your
For
entire.
now. For
entire-
now.
There's-
The podcast ain't over.
Well, I just wanted to quickly gloss over all these movies. There's not enough time to dissect it piece by piece, otherwise we'd be here for hours on hours. But what we have here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 movies. So we just have to take away 2. What we have now, and we can add any last minute entries.
Did you actually put Lion on there?
No, it's gone.
Okay.
I did, but I crossed it out.
Okay, I was going to say, we could take that one out.
Yeah.
I
Fuck
kind of want to
Lion.
put it in just to piss off Joel.
Stir the
The
pot.
two
Dev
things
Patel,
that
best actor of the year.
two things I'm
100%.
I'm
Love
hard on.
DP.
OJ has to be on it, and Lion has to be off of it. Those are my 2 hard rules going into this top 5.
Your hard rules.
My hard rules.
Hard rules.
Yeah.
What we got here is Sing Street, Arrival, La La Land, Moonlight, Hunt for the Wilder People, Hell or High Water, and OJ Made in America. Is there any 2 movies that we think can probably go?
Arrival.
Arrival.
The time to take it off the list has arrived.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it so much.
It was just vanilla at the end of the day.
I haven't seen a story like, I don't understand what you mean by vanilla. I haven't seen a story like Arrival in, I can't even tell
It
you
was
another
bland.
movie.
That's what I mean by
Yeah,
vanilla.
like-
It was bland. Like the story wasn't rich.
I just have
Like
When
the
the
concepts were like there wasn't. Okay, here's a good definitive point. There were no fucking characters in that movie. Name me a characteristic about anybody other than Jeremy Renner was kind of a smartass. Give me any character in the movie. There's no characters in it. Break down a character for me.
You got the hard ass Forrest Whitaker character.
It's true.
He's a hard ass.
Okay,
sure
so
you could break-
so that's a one note character. What else does? Everything's one note. There's no characters in the thing.
It might be one note, but it's a good note.
It's a sound note.
It's a pleasant note to listen to.
There's no layers to the characters.
I don't know. I think we could probably.
And it's also kind of
talk more.
silliness. It's also kind of
I don't know.
silliness in the end. In the end, it's kind of silliness because it's like I mean, obviously, if you can see like everything laid out in front of you, you can do whatever you want to how did she explain to like Jeremy Renner, hey, like I can see everything, so like cards on the table, this is what's gonna happen.
Well, she clearly
Didn't do that,
yeah.
which is a cunt fucking move. Is that not a cunt move?
But I think
is
the
what-
point is that you can see it, but you can't change it either way.
You could change it. You could not go with him. It would be something completely different. So what you need to do is you need to put your cards on the table. Like I'm saying, like obviously she could never have happiness if she just avoided everything because she can see everything. Obviously, like that's ridiculous. But you have to go cards on the table when you're with the person originally. You have to go cards on the table. Here's what's
talking
happening.
about,
I can see everything. This is how it's going to wind up.
You're talking about like this perfect like two-way relationship, but she has like this like crazy ability to kind of see in the future and stuff. Like I think it's kind of hard to like say that definitively that you would do, like tell everyone and give all your cards on the table.
Yeah, if you're going to spend
Jeremy
your life
Renner.
with somebody and like have a baby with them or whatever, you
I don't
have to
think-
go. You have to go cards on
But
the
I
table.
don't think that's the reality of
That
like
is the
any
reality.
relationship.
That's the reality of being a decent human being.
Yeah, but I don't think everyone
What do you
does
mean? It's like if I had herpes and I went and had sex with you and I didn't tell you I had herpes before I had sex with you, like that's
Are you saying-
you go cards on the table with shit.
I think
Like if you're a respectful human being of the person that you're going to like be in love with,
Okay.
then you go fucking cards on the table. Like what are we talking about here? Honesty? Isn't honesty at the top of every like relationship advisor's thing?
yeah, and
Isn't that number one?
sure? But I'm just saying, not everybody is perfect, and they do everything like that. So like,
So she's a cunt.
so if someone had herpes and they wanted to have sex with you, Joel, they might just want to do it anyways without telling you. So.
And that's a cunt move.
It's also illegal.
It is. That's also breaking the law, but that's an asshole move. That's what I'm saying. So it was an asshole move on her part. But you guys still have name me some fucking characteristics from any of the characters in the movie.
I would say Amy Adams is a curious character. She was curious.
Wow, curious.
Curious. Ooh. I'm just gonna. Is any characteristic I give? You're just gonna go. Ooh, that's a characteristic.
Well, she's curious. She's trying to fucking decipher a language. I mean, like, you have to ask questions. Curiosity was her job. She was getting paid to be curious, right? Like, as a linguistics expert a language expert, she is being paid to be curious. She is curious of Abbott and Costello. She is curious. She is wondering what the fucking language is. She's trying to communicate. Curiosity is imperative. Like, she's being paid to be curious.
She also saved the day. Saved the world, in fact. So,
Yeah, but the aliens already knew that she was going to do that because they can fucking see everything.
Leslie,
And why didn't those assholes learn fucking English before they came down?
Yeah, it's a two-way street.
that's the real question.
That's the real question.
That's the real question.
It wasn't a great movie. It wasn't top 5 of the year. It was an okay movie. It was a good movie. Wasn't great. That's what I've said. I'm not trying to shit on it. I'm just talking bad about it because
You just called Amy Adams a cunt. So
I said her character in the movie was a cunt, and I stand by that statement. But I'm just like I'm trying to establish that it's not top 5 material. I don't hate the movie, but like don't at me, bro. But it ain't fucking top 5. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like I found when the movie finished, I thought to myself, that's it. Like I thought there was more to it with all the hype that was around it. Like,
One more gripe about it is it really bugs me that this term heady has been invented to describe it. Like it's because they're like, well, you know, it's really a heady movie, you know, like it's really in your head. It's like for like heady, you're trying to just say that it's like it's an intelligent movie, but that's a pretty fucking unintelligent way to just add a Y on the end of head. I'm sorry, I don't know if you guys have seen that or heard that, but a lot of people are describing it
haven't
as
heard that.
heady.
I think what I enjoyed about Arrival is that it kept me curious the entire time. I was curious, like Amy Adams, but I was genuinely interested in what would happen next.
It's because it's mysterious.
It was
You're
mysterious.
Trying to
Yeah.
decipher the mystery before it could reveal itself to you by nature.
I think a big part is like the tone they set with their music too is really like it's.
I thought the cinematography was phenomenal.
Yeah, I think so too. But it sounds like Arrival might not even make our list. All right, so I'm gonna cross it off because I don't want to spend all day here, and I didn't come prepared enough to give my passionate argument about Arrival. It's not my favorite.
Real quick, is that a reasonable point that I made about the characters though? Like, is that a reasonable point?
I don't know. I think if I had more time and I wasn't put on the spot, I could probably come up with a couple
But if it's your top
characteristics
5 favorite movies of the year and you can't fucking name me characteristics about the main
it's been a while since I've seen it.
I don't hinge on whether I like a movie based on strictly characters. Based on
for sure.
It's
100%.
It's
I'm saying that
the
that-
whole
that-
package, you know. And to me, the performances were great. I liked the dialogue. I liked the mystery of it. Again, like I said, I did not see that twist coming at the end. I thought that was great. I felt, you know, Amy Adams' character, she made a sacrifice for in her life for the better of humankind.
A better thing to do would have been to teach everybody else the language afterwards, right?
Maybe she did that. I don't know.
Yeah.
We only have
don't know.
so much of the story.
We
you know?
kind of know.
Well, did she? Because
They showed a lot of her future.
She showed she was.
Did I miss that? Did that happen?
They showed like her with the textbooks with that
Yeah,
language.
I
on
might
it.
have missed
so
that.
maybe she taught it.
Maybe
I'm
I
not
missed
sure.
that.
Yeah,
I feel like she
I'd
might
to
have.
see- It's been a few months since I've
Again,
seen
it's been a few. Yeah, I can't.
I didn't love it, so some of the details slipped my mind. But like obviously a movie like whether or not it's like good doesn't hinge on the characters. And I'm saying that the movie is good, but like a great movie is fully well rounded in my opinion. Like to be on the top 5, you have to have every aspect. And I can name unless if you can't name 5 movies that don't have great all around aspects. In which case then like obviously you can have deficiencies in certain manners. But in my opinion, there are more than 5 movies that were like expertly well-rounded, and Arrival was not one of them.
Well, I'm going to take it off for now. We can bring it back from the grave if I come up with something.
There's no do not resuscitate on it.
La La Land, obviously we're keeping. We haven't spoken a thing about it really, but except for City of Stars. Moving on. Moonlight. I put this on.
So
here.
Moonlight's off.
Moonlight's
Like if it was just silent at Moonlight, then it's not on.
I
But it's a good movie.
I thought
It's
it was
just-
really
It was a
Like,
out
good
of all-
I'm not
movie.
saying any of these
I
movies
think
are bad.
drama wise, it
Yeah, that's
I
a
thought
good
it was
point.
really great. I thought it told a really cool story, especially like a story about a black gay kid growing up in a
Hard
rough
streets.
part of like the neighborhood, and how his character was informed by his environment, and a key thing in part of his life, like bashing that kid with the chair, changed him, and he tried to be tough for it, and then even through all that, he was still that same insecure kid at the end. And I thought it was a really cool exploration of like this specific kid's growing up journey, I suppose. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, they showed like the real defining moments
Yeah.
from his life.
And like if we call it like a character piece, I thought it was like really, really strong for that. So it's one of my favorite movies of the year, but we're gonna con it because these guys are assholes.
We're all racist except for Tuong. We're just all racist.
Yeah.
So I'm super glad I didn't watch the trailers for that one too, because they literally show like the first shot of one of the trailers is from the last 20 minutes of the movie. It's the last 20 minutes.
That's crazy.
You kidding me?
I didn't see any of that.
The art of the trailer has been lost.
It's so
Not
gross.
for every movie, but I can.
Not for every movie,
And
but
then-
generally when the trailer's good, the movie's shit.
And then,
Because they tried
and then
really
watching
hard.
the movie, I went in completely blind because that's how I like to do it. And I went on the journey with him. This kid doesn't know if he's gay or not. Like I didn't know. So when he found out that he was, it was a discovery for me as well. Like
Yeah, I was shocked. I was like, "Oh fuck! I didn't know this movie was
Yeah.
going that way."
Yeah.
yeah, because I do the same thing. I like going in dark. Like if I decide based off of actors or directors or recommendations, like I don't want any info. Like I want to go in as dark as possible.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, and I thought it was cool because like I don't even know how to say it.
Mahershala Ali, I
Mahershala
believe.
Ali. Like yeah,
Mahershala.
I thought his character would be like because he's even on the posters. You expect him to be the main supporting
Yeah,
character,
yeah.
but he kind of disappears. But like you can see his character kind of live on in the third act
Yeah,
of the
no
movie.
shit.
So it's just like that's kind of like there's the parallel there. So I thought it was a
Yeah.
cool thing to bring back there. And they don't even actually tell you what happens to Mahershala Ali's character. You kind of just have to fill in those blanks yourself.
I love when movies
So we
do that.
actually have a top 5 right now, although we can cut Joel's movie if we want to.
We cannot. I mean, guys, I've got a PowerPoint presentation prepared
Yeah,
for you.
I know.
I can
I will
break it
say-
down step by step.
I will say he came most prepared for the podcast, even though
I would like just honestly could not highly recommend it enough though. Like it was like the most polarizing story of the 20th. I mean, except for Hitler and stuff. But like since like the news cycle was like able to accommodate it, with like the more TV networks and everything. Ever since like television's been able to accommodate a big story, like that was the first huge like monumental news story that had like the whole world watching. It was with a celebrity who had been in movies and stuff. Which I'll say actually. Side note, OJ in Naked Gun might be my favorite actor in a movie. But yeah, or sorry, actor in a movie.
boy.
Athlete in a movie.
Oh, athlete. Okay, actor
Sorry,
in a
sorry.
movie and athlete in a
Sorry,
movie.
yeah,
Very
sorry.
different things.
Athlete being an act. Yeah, sorry.
before we continue more of that, because I'm sure you have more to say, we do have a 5 right now, which is Sing Street, La La Land, Hunt for the Wilder People, Hell or High Water, and OJ Made in America. We didn't talk really much about La La Land yet, or Hunt for the Wilder People, but I kind of want to give a rough sense of like where we want to put these movies. I think we can put OJ on this list because Joel has a very passionate argument about it. But I would put it as number 5 since none of us saw us. If that's
as a cautionary,
yeah. And everything else between. Do we have any an agreed upon number 1 that we want to talk?
I mean, La La Land, right?
I think so.
Sing
For me
Street.
personally, it was Hell or High Water, but honestly,
But for the purposes of this, where we're all trying to collaborate on a list,
I would prefer Sing Street or Hunt for the Wilder
I would
People.
prefer Sing Street as well.
Hunt for the Wilder People or Sing Street would be my number 1 since we have OJ at the bottom. And my number 2 would be Hunt for the Wilder People, and 3 would be La La Land.
My number 1 is Hunt for the Wilder People. My 2 is La La Land, and 3 is Sing Street. And then 4 would be 3 would be Hunt for Hell or High Water. Then 4 would be Sing Street.
Really?
Yeah.
Hating on Sing Street.
I'm the one who told you to watch Sing Street.
You didn't break any
I
news there, telling you it was fucking
told-
critically
I
acclaimed. You
told
didn't give me the inside scoop on that one.
Critically-
You're like, hey Joel, check out this little piece.
Joel, let me tell you a thing or two about characters.
Yeah.
Oh god.
No. Well, Sing Street wasn't even nominated for anything, which is surprising. Not even like any music nods.
They were
which is-
wrong.
That's crazy.
Yeah, my
That's
top 2 are like since OJ's at the bottom are both foreign films. I think it's worth pointing out Hunt for the Sing Street 1 and Hunt for the Wilder People 2.
You guys both like Sing Street?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Who's number 1? You didn't see
I
it?
haven't seen that one, so I can't. say it.
La La Land.
I would be fine either or for number 1
Okay.
if we're.
I'd have I think La La Land's the one all 4 of us have seen, and so yeah, I make the argument it being number 1.
Yeah.
It
I
it's
think-
one of the most.
And we didn't even talk
I
about it
agree
yet.
as
And we
well.
didn't,
I'm not opposed to it.
Yeah, Hunt for the Wilder People. Only a couple of us saw. It's just,
Yeah, just
you
you
and
and
me. So I'd be, even though I could probably say a lot about it, but it kind of be weird as a group number 1 to say that this is our number 1 because it's really only half of us at the table. And then Hell or High Water.
Hell or High Water is by far like the lowest on that list for me. I know it's Kyle's number 1, but out of to me, it's by far the 5th.
Mm-hmm. How do you guys feel about Hell or High Water at 4? Hunt for the Wilder People at
3.
2.
3.
Sing Street at 3, and number 1 is La La Land.
No, Sing Street 2.
Sing Street 2.
Sing Street 2. Wow.
Sing Street at 2.
Sing Street definitely above Hunt for the Wilder. And I'll say like those are actually like really close, and I thought I had to think about that, but it's like to me after OJ is the number 1, and then after that it's Sing Street and Hunt for the Wilder People are really close, and then it's La La Land, kind of another step, like a next tier, and then after La La Land it's a big drop off for me.
All right, let's break it down here. OJ Made in America, number 5. Number 4, Hell or High Water. Number 3, Hunt for the Wilder People. Number 2, Sing Street. And number 1, La La Land. How does that sound to everyone?
We did it, boys.
Yeah.
Can we talk about La La Land? We didn't even talk about it at all. Just really quickly.
We didn't really talk about Sing Street either that much.
Yeah,
Did
we
we?
kind of did.
Really?
We did.
All
We
right.
did. There's our first thing we talked about. But I really liked it.
I think it'll get Best Picture.
It'll get Best Picture.
You think
It
so?
will because it's a Hollywood story as well, and they love that in Hollywood.
Yeah, it's cool. I love how it's like an homage to like the olden days of like musicals and stuff like that. But also like they modernize it and like they kind of go for it too, right? Like they have their whole like bit where like Ryan Gosling and Emma Stone are just like dancing with
In the
like,
planetarium.
exactly,
Yeah.
with like a really they're like flying and like there's a crazy like like background that's really like animated and it like there's like they play with shadows and stuff too, but it doesn't seem out of place in a movie like that, which I really
like the
Yeah.
whimsy of it was on point.
yeah
it meshed.
it
meshed with
the
like,
whole movie was able to like justify that scene which happened around in the middle, and you're like, oh, that doesn't seem like that wasn't jarring to me because in the movie at the very beginning they open with a right away a song.
That was like my least favorite part of the whole movie. Like I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna actually like this one. Like I don't know. Like that
Me
that
too.
song really kind of
Me too. I didn't dig the song. I didn't dig the song. I
And-
loved
and
the camera stuff that was going on.
Oh,
though.
yeah.
Like that was gorgeous.
I wasn't mad at the camera stuff, but I thought like the song and dance of it all was And then like was not great. But the worst part of the movie, to be like the first thing you see, is probably best because it was all uphill from there.
For
Like
sure.
I'll say I think it was one of my probably top 5 favorite endings of a movie of all time. I would say.
Yeah.
That was good.
And I think that's like a deal breaker for a lot of people. A lot of people really like. I hate like an obvious contrived ending. Like I really fucking hate that. I think a lot of people like that, and a lot of people didn't like the ending of La La Land because they didn't get together in the end. But I thought it was like insanely beautiful and poetic the way that they unconditionally supported each other to realize their own dreams, even at the expense of their relationship with one another. And like, and they have that moment at the end and they just, I'm actually getting goosebumps right now talking about it. It was just, I think that
the
was,
window's just open.
yeah, I think it was one of the best movie endings of all time. It left me teary-eyed, and I was like, this movie is going to be one to watch for years.
Kyle?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't get teary-eyed at the end watching
You
it.
fucking
You're
liar.
not a baby.
You fucking liar.
But I did enjoy was it J.K. Simmons at the end. I don't know, just his little dance at the door.
Yeah, I thought it was really nice. Leslie?
Yeah, I mean, everything that was said and more. It was great. I loved it. I'm not a fan of Emma Stone, so wasn't too impressed with her. But yeah, it was just a gorgeous movie, and it's about like all the things I care about. So.
Yeah, exactly. And I think you and I can relate to that. Just like it teaches you or it shows you a lot about like the industry of entertainment and music and movies and like what it takes to get there. But like the ending, like Joel said, is really it's poetic. Like the way they show you the perfect scenario. If Ryan Gosling did these exact things, then his life could have been perfect, but life isn't like this, and life isn't like that. So he made sacrifices, she made sacrifices too, and again, both of their dreams were realized, where she is now a well-paid actress, and he opened up his jazz club, and then the moment at the end, the song that you've been hearing this entire movie, he plays it, and you're like, oh my god! I thought that was really cool. And then she just walks away, and they just have a nice smile at the end. And I heard Ryan Gosling learned how to play the piano for this movie. So
what can't he
you know
do?
What can't he do?
Well,
You know what? I'm
play
off
defensive
all
back.
now.
Hey, they
Yeah,
said-
he's a total fucking
they said
liability at
there-
halfback.
There was no hand doubles or anything. Like that was all him playing, and he just.
I'll say one more thing to note of it that I thought was like truly exceptional was the color palette of the movie. I thought like the color palette and the choreography of it obviously was so amazing, but like because the choreography was so amazing, they were showing it off with these like super wide shots a lot of the time, where you're seeing like a whole street and you're seeing them dancing on the street, but then the color palette of the whole street just fit the tone of the movie so perfectly. And in a movie where you're showing like so much wide because they're trying to show off the dancing, because they really fucking did it, you might as well like show it, right? I thought that it's harder to like have the exceptional color palette, and I thought that was truly exceptional.
Cool. Anything else you guys want to say about the movies on this list? I think we kind of talked about everything. Leslie, you mentioned you had a brotherly connection with Sing Street at the very end of the movie before. Which I think was really powerful.
That last moment of Sing Street where he sends them off on the boat. And
celebrating,
and then he goes up into the street and he looks and he sees them going off and he just goes, yeah! And it was like,
you felt it too.
I
was in my bed and I went like
me
with
too,
him.
Yeah, like it was just there's a title card at the end, either at the beginning of the credits or the end of the credits, saying that the movie is for brothers everywhere.
That was the beginning of the credits.
And it was just like. Yeah,
and it was poetic the way that they because he paved the metaphor that the brother was using earlier of him like being in his jet stream, be like, I was the older brother, I fucking slashed down the forest, and you're just like coming through, like, and then at the end when he's driving along and it looks like shit is like super rocky, and you're like, oh man, are they gonna kill these kids at the end of this movie? Like I don't know, like I was literally like, man, they might fucking kill these kids, like that's crazy. And then he gets into the jet stream, and like the wake of the boat rather, and that like everything's gonna be all right. And it also had a real like sensation of like, I don't know if you've ever read any like rock and roll biographies, like, and that is like spot on of like a rock and roll superstar's like story, you know, like being repressed and like not being, like living that repressed life and taking a giant chance and stuff like that. It was punk rock as fuck.
Yeah, I read the director note that he wanted to make it seem like a music video at the end of the movie. Kind of how like at the beginning of the movie, like, oh, look at these music videos. You can say so much with a music video. I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool, because I didn't really pick up on that until I read that. We talked about Hell or High Water. We talked about OJ. I really quickly, just to wrap up, I don't think we gave too much to Hunt for the Wilder People.
Yeah, it was. I said it's fun for 8 to 80, and I also described it as like it's a Wes Anderson movie, like meets Kings of Summer, kind of.
Yeah,
it's like
I said it was this year's Kings of Summer.
Yeah, that's an accurate way to describe it.
Yeah.
It's extraordinarily whimsical,
super offbeat humor, and that's part of like the New Zealand type humor and stuff. And you have like really great like cameos with like Rhys Darby coming in, and it's same director as What We Do in the Shadows.
Yeah.
If you guys saw that, and that movie's hilarious. I strongly recommend that.
The upcoming Thor.
And Thor Ragnarok as well. Yeah.
Like I said, on Netflix.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Definitely check it out. I was like saying earlier how I don't like comic book movies at all. I'm gonna check out that Thor movie because like however you pronounce his name,
Taika
Waititi is directing it.
Yeah.
One thing about his directing like that needs to be highlighted was those montages where he does these montages where like the shot is like stationary in a forest, but it's just panning in a 360-degree manner. But like they'll just like show so many characters like running through the shot and stuff. So it's like telling you that like time is passing, and it's showing you like a bunch of like different. It's
that in Sing Street as well with that first video.
Yeah.
Where they're practicing it, and then it's just the two of them strumming, and then the camera keeps going.
Yeah,
and then the entire band is there.
It's that exact type of idea, but like in a forest with like dozens of people, like and the story. Yeah, phenomenal.
It's cool.
Phenomenal.
The relationship between the kid and the Sam Neill is really, it's something else. It's really unique and really funny, and it makes you feel good by the end of it.
Great movie for the whole family.
Yeah, I can't recommend it enough. It's my number one. But yeah, we did it, guys. PodCavern's ranked first podcast. I promise. Yeah, this is more of the headier type of podcast.
Fuck you. I would like to say, for the record, 4 of my top 5 made it. I feel accomplished.
Yeah, I feel bad. I couldn't come up with anything for a rival.
Did anybody?
Are we gonna do
How many of your guys' top 5s? Let's go around the horn. Made it in the top 5.
Hell or High Water and La La Land.
So 2.
The rest I haven't seen.
Yeah, I think 3 made it. Yeah.
Mine's 2. La La Land and Hunt for the Wilder.
Are we gonna do the personal?
Yeah, you can list it if you want. We have a couple.
Let's go around.
Because I wrote intros for all of these, and I spent like 2.5 hours on it, and I just need to fucking read them.
Yeah.
Okay.
We could go around so people don't get.
Yeah.
People don't get.
I'll just list mine, but you can.
People already tuned out once Joel started yelling and saying,
we'll all go around then. We'll all go around. I'll start with number 5. The first socks, according to history books, were recorded in 8th century BC by the ancient Greek people, and were made from matted animal fur in order to keep their feet warm. Cut to 2017, where socks are having a renaissance of sorts, with several boutique sock companies making their living providing hip, intricate, brightly colored foot sleeves to masses of barefooted customers. But today, I'm abandoning the chic, complex patterns of contemporary socks and going back to a simple primary color, red. With my newly adorned red socks and Marky Mark by my side, I'm gonna park the car in Harvard Yard for my number 5 pick, Patriots Day.
Why didn't you start with these?
Okay,
You should have said that for all of the ones.
I thought we were all going around with our personal ones. But anyway, that's my number 5.
I didn't write a whole spiel about. Like, I think yours is better. Well, my number 5 was Arrival, so I don't have a thing about that except I really, really enjoyed it. And apparently I can't think of like characteristics for Amy Adams. Except she's curious, She's just a really curious person.
She's curious.
And she's driven and she's a hero.
According to Joel.
Another one that starts with a CU.
No, we are avoiding.
I love Amy Adams too.
Yeah, I do too. What was your number 5?
Pop Star was Never Stop, Never Stopping. I thought it was like probably one of the most underrated movies of all time, just in terms of like how much star power is in it, how good it was, and how little people like saw it and stuff. And yeah, original music. 3 of my top 5s were like super original music in Sing Street, Pop Star, and La La Land.
Yeah, I really liked it.
At 5, I had Manchester by the Sea.
You really like comedies.
Yeah, it was a real knee slapper, if I don't say so myself.
Oh, what a sad movie.
Rocks and birds. 2 of the foundations of human civilization. For if it were not for rocks, where would humans' tools come from? Serving as the cornerstone of many modern-day conveniences. And if it were not for birds, who would serve as the inspiration for human flight? It is these winged, beaked creatures that serve the muse for airplanes, which transport people all across the globe, connecting us all together as one giant village. But in my number 4 2016 favorite movie pick, I'd like to consider 2 different types of rocks and birds, Stone and Gosling. Some uneducated viewers might quickly glance at the title of this movie and think it's some sort of amusement park. And while I can't verify that, I can certainly say that this movie is a roller coaster of emotions. 1 ticket, please, to La La Land.
I'm impressed that this only took you 2.5 hours. Like, if the next 3 go half as good as those first 2, hats off, sir.
Dude.
Hats off.
Man, I kind of wish I wrote stuff like that. I wrote Moonlight as number 4.
That's not the bar. I had La La Land there.
Okay.
Go on. So we were the same there. La La Land
I
at
had
4.
a similar one to Moonlight, Hacksaw Ridge. So,
Yeah.
Leslie?
Metamorphosis is the biological process by which an animal physically develops after birth or hatching. Perhaps most well known for this process is the common butterfly, starting as an egg, morphing into a caterpillar, and then spending 10 to 14 days in a self-made chrysalis, or pupa. It unleashes its final form upon the world as a butterfly for all the world to see. However, humans can undergo these transformations too. Take, for instance, the journey of a boy raised in New Zealand and the U.S. states of Hawaii and Pennsylvania, who grew up to be a college football player in Miami. After a brief stint as a player for the Calgary Stampeders, this boy, now a man, transitioned into the professional wrestling part of his career. As a major staple in the WWE's Attitude Era from 1996 to 2004, this man used that to springboard into his final form, a mega superstar Hollywood actor. For my number 3 pick of 2016 favorite movie, make way, because after you see this on my recommendation, what can I say except you're welcome. Consider the coconut, consider Moana.
Inside Moana joke at the end there. I'm going to check out Moana, though.
Yeah, Moana's great.
Moana's great. Moana's fucking great.
Moana's great. I like it. It's just a fun movie, and it just looks so good. Such a pretty movie.
Yeah, I just never heard it recommended.
Oh, man. It's great.
Since the beginning of time, no, I got nothing. It's mine was Rogue One, a Star Wars story. I already talked about that. I definitely think it's the best, right next to Empire Strikes Back. Yeah, I think it's pretty awesome. Really good crew. The true Suicide Squad of 2016.
Fair enough. Yeah. Hunt for the Wilder People was my 3, and to me, that movie was an instant cult classic. Like, you watched it and you're like, oh, this is going to be a cult classic forever.
I had The Nice Guys.
Nice, yeah. That's awesome. That's in my top 10.
Really want some Yoo-Hoo after that. Watching
Right?
that.
Yeah,
Right?
you got to drive to New York. I'm pretty sure they don't have that here.
All right,
Am I wrong?
What are you doing later?
Going with you to New York to get some Yoo-Hoos.
Right on.
The year is 1886. Paul Schlicht of New York launches what he describes as a first-class family magazine, with a section devoted exclusively to the concerns of women, including articles on fashions, household decoration, cooking, and other similar topics. With a circulation of 25,000 that year, a new breed of literature was released on the world, and its moniker was the Cosmopolitan. Fast forward to now, with over 3 million subscribers and published in 35 different languages, Cosmo, as it is affectionately referred to as, is much more sexually explicit in tone than its early days, often with lists on how to please your man or keep things exciting in the bedroom. But with my number 2 pick of favorite 2016 movie, I'm speaking of a different Cosmo entirely. A Cosmo that doesn't need a list on how to please the girl, but how to get the girl in the first place. A Cosmo who needs to drive it like he stole it. A Cosmo who shouldn't take a walk down Croon Boulevard or Harmonize Avenue, but a Cosmo who should take a little stroll down Sing Street.
These are incredible. You should have started with these.
Thank you so much.
Slow clap in the Sing Street.
You're peaking the audio. Where are we at, 2? Mine was La La Land. We talked a lot about it, so.
I had Sing Street here as well. Me and you on Sing Street and on La La Land, 2 and 4.
Nice.
I had 10 Cloverfield Lane.
Wow.
Oh,
Wow, that's
very
cool.
cool.
I gotta check that out.
This is
then.
why you're here. This is why you're here.
Those types of movies are my favorite. Just like
So tense.
yeah, just
I like being tense.
a good thriller.
Train to Busan, man.
Nothing
Watch
gets
that.
my nipples hard like a good thriller.
Yeah, I gotta check out
Don't
Train to
breathe.
Busan.
Train to Busan. Green
Yeah.
Room, apparently.
Oh
Green
yeah,
Room.
Green Room was awesome.
Oh yeah, you watched it.
Yeah, Patrick Stewart, like he was terrifying in it.
Damn.
All right,
Picard?
number 1. Let's
Yeah.
keep it going.
All right.
Last one.
The Rosetta Stone was believed to be carved in 196 BC. Weighing approximately 1,680 pounds, the black granite stone is covered in writing from 3 different scripts: hieroglyphics, Demotic, and Ancient Greek, and carry the Decree of Memphis, a message of honoring the Egyptian pharaoh. It was written so all priests, government officials, and rulers in Egypt could read what it said. Using this as inspiration, the Rosetta Stone Company, founded in 1992, launched interactive software to help people learn new languages in an accelerated manner. But with my number 1 pick of 2016, there is no software, there is no fast pass, there is only one woman with a passion for language. When the day comes and the aliens do indeed land in this airport of the universe we call Earth, they aren't going to go they aren't going to be at the gift shop or the Sbarro. They aren't going to be found at luggage claim or the departure. But you might have some luck if you look in the section labeled Arrival.
That's great. That's amazing. I'm surprised you didn't put up more of a fight for Arrival.
I know. I just
all right.
it's been like 2 months since I've seen it or something like that.
Me
It's
too.
just,
I just,
it's not fresh in my mind.
Courageous. There you
Yeah.
go. There's another one. She's courageous.
Courageous.
And once again, another C word.
Oh God, oh Lord. My number 1 is Hunt for the Wilder People. I cannot recommend it enough. I think it's just pure joy. Same with Sing Street. Sing Street and Hunt for the Wilder People are just, you watch those movies, you feel good after, and I like that. I like feeling good.
Yeah, fair enough. OJ Made in America. It really is like it's told like it's never been told before. The whole story and like excessive background like given in that like ties in, and it's ridiculously validating to watch and entertaining, and you could not recommend it highly enough.
Jonesy.
Hell or High Water.
Kind of. Yeah.
Just the one scene after where Chris Pine, he had been shot, and so he's going through the checkpoint
Right.
with the police officers. Like that scene alone, I just thought like pretty much the tension of it. Like, will he get through? Will he not? And
Yeah, that was
Chris Pine, man.
It was a lot of fun. The movie was a shitload of fun.
Yeah.
I like a couple of banditos. You know what I mean?
Bandito.
Two banditos.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining me here today. Did you guys? How was that? We did okay. I
That's
think.
great.
a
Yeah,
little bit over than what we thought. By
pop my podcast cherry.
oh yes,
You're welcome.
You guys are welcome back anytime. Future podcasts are probably not going to be this heady. I just
son
want
of
to
a
piss you
bitch.
off, Joel.
It's like, yeah, maybe try Cerebral. How about that, you fucking dummy?
So we're not gonna go so cerebral for these.
Yeah, that was
you like
poor,
the
that was poor
cerebral.
grammar. That was poor grammar. On
Yeah.
Next podcast should be top 5 Dev Patel movies.
that. Yo, I love Dev Patel. I love him.
You do? Okay. Well, it sounds like you hate him.
Chappie was
Lion
awesome.
sucked.
So moving forward, we're going to have basically make podcasts, top 5 anything. We thought we would start with movies because it's the Oscar season, but we are open to any ideas. Every single week, we're going to have some new people join the table. But today we have, again, Joel Empey. Thank you for joining us today.
Yo, quiet the crowds. Why are they're just going crazy for me? Oh, get off my shirt.
They're not real people. Kyle Jones, thanks again. Thank you. I'm glad we got to pop your cherry together.
It was an experience of a lifetime.
And Leslie Cserepy.
Who the fuck is that? Hey, it's me, Mark. I
Mark
just came
Wahlberg.
back.
Oh,
Yeah, I
oh my
forgot
God.
Mark Wahlberg, you didn't sign off here?
I forgot my watch.
Oh shoot.
Oh,
Okay,
shit.
sorry, man. It's right over here.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome. Do you know where Leslie is?
Huh?
You know where Leslie is?
Don't forget your khakis.
Khakis.
Okay.
All right, I'm gonna go. I got this jetpack. Wee.
Well, wow, that was really cool.
Wow.
You just jetpacked right out the window.
Mark
like
Wahlberg
the Kool-Aid guy style.
Is gone.
There's a
yeah.
hole in your wall.
Jetpacked away.
Hey guys, what's up? Thanks for having me, Tom.
Hey,
That
no
was great.
problem,
It was,
Leslie.
Yeah,
Come
Mark
back
Wahlberg kept
anytime.
your seat warm.
Stay tuned for new podcasts coming to the PodCavern at some point. I know some people are interested in making their own. But yeah, thanks again for joining us at Ranked, and we'll see ya next time.
You want to read the top 5 one more time?
We'll see you. Okay. Number 5, OJ, Made in America. Number 4, Hell or High Water. Number 3, Hunt for the Wilder People. Number 2, Sing Street. And number 1, La La Land.
There it is, ladies and gentlemen.
Thanks again.
Definitively.
Goodbye. See you soon. Hello again, it's me, Tuong, like the tongue in your mouth. Just a quick closing note. If you have an idea for a top 5 list for the show, or you want to be on the podcast, or maybe you have an idea for your own show that you want made for the PodCavern, then type up your thoughts and send an electronic carrier pigeon to ranked@podcavern.com. That is the email, ranked@podcavern.com. We are going to be experimenting a lot with different fun topics and find different ways how to rank them. So join us next time for something fantastical. See you around.